Jared, what do you think about a pickup truck where the rear doors, a 4-door pickup truck where the rear doors slide backwards like a minivan? Would you think that was, like, cool, or do you think that's gay?
It would be easier to shoot out of.
That is true. Thank you for pointing that out. It would be easier to shoot out of. So, all right, I'm on board then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can mount some guns.
Yeah,
in
that is true. That I don't think that they were thinking
like
that when they
Jeep.
designed that.
Yeah.
I don't think they were thinking about it's easier to shoot out of. But yeah, rock on. Hey, welcome to Student of the Gun Radio. I am your host, Professor Paul Markle, and it is Thursday. Welcome to the Thursday edition of Student of the Gun Radio. We're coming to you from the Glass Case of Emotion Studios, located at Student of the Gun University on the sunny Gulf Coast of Biloxi, Mississippi. And on the outside of the glass case, I have to be in it. That's the rule. I have to be in the glass case of emotion. But on the outside of the glass case of emotion is Jared, my co-host, my producer, the man with the plan. Talk to the people, Jared. Say hello.
I'm on the outside looking in.
He is. That's true.
And I don't remember the rest of the words to that song, so I'm going to go ahead and stop there. That was Aaron Lewis, wasn't it?
Stain. Probably
yeah.
Stain. Yeah.
Because I think he did that when we went to the Aaron Lewis concert at the Hard Rock here in Biloxi.
Yeah.
So I'm all for the sliding doors.
Yeah, rock on. Although it's the thing is, the picture of it makes it look all like foo-foo.
Like vagination.
Like it's one of those pickup trucks that they don't ever expect to see to like touch dirt.
Oh.
That freaks me out. I mean, I suppose it's America. Do whatever you want. I don't give a crap. But people that spend all this money, they spend $40,000, $50,000 on a pickup truck that never leaves the asphalt. That they're afraid to get dirty. I think it was Yeager that said it blows him away when people in pickup trucks come up to like parking lot speed bumps and they slow down. And they like crawl over them. Like, dude, you realize you're in a truck, right? And the truth of the matter is, if you accelerate right as you hit it, like to 10, 12 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour, you actually go over it faster and with less bump. You ever try that? Like, you see the people that like slow down to like 5 and they're like tapping their brakes as they hit it and they boom, 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 boom. No, right as you approach it, hit the accelerator.
The only speed bumps that I go over are the ones going up the ramp in the
Hard Rock parking lot. Those are the ones
I go in the center.
Yeah. So my truck's too big to. I can miss them with one wheel, but I can't miss them with two.
I can miss them with both wheels in my truck and the Equinox. Yeah.
Really? Huh. I can't. But yeah, I was going up the ramp at the Hard Rock, and they have the speed bumps at the top, and
you just don't have good enough aim.
And these people are like just stopping. They come to like a complete stop, and then
I know that annoys me.
Creep over. It's like
dude,
don't worry. There's nobody else behind you going up a ramp.
Yeah,
in a standard transmission.
I was
truck.
just about to say you might not have a standard transmission, but if you get stuck on that hill, and people in front of you and behind you don't realize that you have a standard, it's kind of you got to roll a little bit backwards before you can go forward.
I love the people that when you're in a standard, like get right up behind you on a hill at a stop sign or a light or something. You're like, here's the deal, dude. I'm going to hit you. When I roll backwards, 18 inches.
I'm going to roll backwards, and the bottom of my tailgate is going to scrape the top of your hood because it's taller than your car. So, whatever, it's not going to hurt.
That's why you have really big ball jacks.
Yeah.
Or not ball hitches. Ball jacks.
Oh, speaking of which, if any of you guys out there that can hear my voice, if any of you know of somebody or if any of you manufacture something that looks like a meat tenderizer or a fist, or something that you put in the back of your truck. Dad and I were thinking a spike, but then the spike.
You just gave the idea away.
What?
The ball hitch idea that we had.
Oh, well, I mean, I could. Do you want me to?
No, it's okay. We're not going to do anything with it. Somebody's going to make $1 million.
Or if you know what you could do, you can make the meat tenderizer shaped like SOTG, and then just give us a percentage of each sale.
Here's what you do: is you take it and you write it backwards. So that when it stamps into the front of the car, it leaves the perfect impression.
That's awesome.
You write it backwards.
Hey, if anybody's interested in doing that, contact me and let me know.
Like when you have a the word on the ring is spelled backwards. You're like, why is it spelled backwards?
That's when I punch
So
somebody.
it leaves a perfect impression
Yeah.
on your forehead. All right. You guys are violent. I don't know if I want to listen to this show anymore. You make me tinkle in my Pampers a little bit. I know. Sometimes we do make people tinkle in their Pampers, and that's just the cross that we have to bear. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know why I'm vamping? Jared, you know I'm vamping and why I'm not really, jumping into it with both feet?
Because your computer's messed up.
No, because I'm so
dang it.
freaking angry
I tried.
right now. I'm so angry right now that I'm trying to collect myself so that I don't go completely.
We're not going to talk about that story
completely
today.
OFF.
Right.
Why not?
Well, I mean, you can, but
All right, yesterday, let's get
You might as well while you're all-
continue.
while you're mad about it.
To continue, yesterday we talked about the disarmed by disqualification, and I told you guys that we were going to keep moving on with that. But before we get into the VA thing, it is my responsibility as the producer of the show to thank my friends at Brownells. And, this Brown Santa came today. The Brown Santa Claus came today, and he brought me my ammo brick. We were talking about this, and I thought, you know what, I need to order one of these. I mean, it looked cool on the website, and I thought, well, if it looks cool, maybe it is cool. So I ordered one from the Brownells catalog. It's in their new products section. And you're like, well, what's an ammo brick? Basically, it's like an ammo can. It's like a big hollow storage unit deal with a handle. And I know this is going to bunch. You know who's going to bunch up, Jared? The ammo in box people. The people who have to keep their ammo in the trays. Like, yeah, but the trays, the boxes and trays don't fit in there. Just dump it out of the tray. It'll be okay. Just dump it out.
If you roll up to the range and you have boxes of ammo and not an ammo can, then you lose respect.
Yeah. At least from us, but because we train. No, the ammo brick it's really cool, actually. It's made by the people who make this thing called a water brick, and a water brick is basically for storage of, bulk drinking water. And you stack them like it's what's funny. What did Alex say? She said it's like a giant Lego.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's like. It's kind of like a Lego block. Well, with the ammo brick, what you can do is you can fill it full of ammo, and then you can stack it one on top of the other on top of the other for storage, but it actually has kind of a cool handle that you put on the end of it. If you want to grab it and go, you can do that too. So that's just something cool that I thought you guys would be interested in. If you're following our Instagram page, Student of the Gun Instagram, we threw a picture of it up as soon as I got it out of the box, so you can check that out. If you're not following us on Instagram, you should be, so correct yourself so you're not wrong anymore. Also, you're like, I don't like the social media stuff. Well, gundistrict.com is pro-gun social media. Gun District, those words crammed together, .com. Check them out. Even if you hate Facebook, you hate Twitter, you hate all the other stuff, I got you. We don't like them either, but they're a necessary evil. But go to gundistrict.com and do us a favor. Make Student of the Guns page the #1 page on Gun District. How about that? Can we do that? If we can't, I don't know what to tell you. Duracoat. Duracoat is a sponsor of Student of the Gun. We're glad to have them on board. You can get Duracoat products from Lauer Custom Weapons or LauerWeaponry.com. You can get them from Brownells. You can get them anywhere. Just type in the word Duracoat or Dura Blue, which is really cool. You know what I think I'm going to do, Jared? I'm going to knock out a couple more because if I don't, once I start rolling on this, ladies and gentlemen, if this is the first time you're listening, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. If you're a veteran of Student of the Gun Radio, you know that once Paul gets going, and yes, I did refer to myself in the third person there. I apologize.
He does that sometimes.
Once I get going, it's going to be a full-on roller coaster ride. So you want to belt in, you want to buckle in, because there's something that has me. I just discovered. Of course, I just discovered this as I was assembling the show notes. Yes, I was assembling the show notes, making sure that everything was ready to go for today's show, and this story popped up in front of my face, and I'm not happy about it. But Crossbreed Holsters, I'm happy about them. I'm happy that they're our sponsors. I'm happy that they're making high quality. They're one of those often imitated, never duplicated kind of people. An idea that's so good that 10,000 people had to rip them off. Oh, that's not true. I have a one from this company called Derpa Holster Company. And they've been in business for 5 years. Oh, 5 whole years? 4 whole years? 3 whole years? Oh, my dear departed friend Mark Craighead came up with this design. I think it was 9 or 10 years ago. So if you haven't had your in the waistband super tuck type holster for more than 8 years, yours is a ripoff. Check them out at Crossbreed. Oh, I just hurt some feelings. Oh, you know what? Write me and I'll send you a Band-Aid. Send your email to I have hurt feelings at studentofthegun.com.
And you can just say vagination.
I will send you a Band-Aid for your hurt feelings. Crossbreedholsters.com. Check those guys out.
We actually have a report that you can fill out. Did you know that?
Yeah, I know. I do that. That goes all the way back. When I was in the military,
that's what I'm saying. We could send them
the hurt feelings report. We'll fill out a hurt feelings report.
Get all the information.
Yeah. If you probably get caught with one of those today in today's military, they would probably discipline you because that report might actually hurt someone's feelings. Century Arms, the makers of the C-39 made in the USA AK, and the TP9 V2 and C-39 V2 and all kinds of stuff. And V2 stands for version number 2, in case you're wondering. SWAT Fuel. Did you guys enjoy the interview we did with Dr. Dan on Tuesday? I hope you did. And I hope that you go to SWATfuel.com, and when you go there, use the promo code SOTG2015, and you're going to save 10% off your total order. So you are welcome. Thank you very much. All right, yesterday, we talked about disarming by disqualification and how it's nonsense, how it's a lie. It is but it's an easy to swallow lie because everybody out there, you, me, everyone, wants to be reasonable. You want to be seen as a reasonable person. So when your enemy comes around, your enemy doesn't show up and say, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to imprison you. I'm going to put you on the train, take you to the gas chamber, and turn on the gas. They never tell you that. They're not going to say that to you. Your enemy is never going to come around and say, okay, our 25-year goal is to incrementally eliminate the private ownership of firearms in the United States of America. They're never going to say that. What they're going to do is they're going to come up with an incremental plan where they can chip away a little at a time, a little here, a little here, a little here. And you, being the reasonable person, don't want to argue. You don't want to fight. You don't want to seem unreasonable. So when they come up with more reasonableness, such as the Lautenberg Amendment, well, we're going to turn people who have been convicted of misdemeanors. Previously, we're like, well, convicted felons shouldn't be allowed to own guns because guns are dangerous and felons are dangerous and so forth. Okay. So you bought into that, and you're like, well, yeah, I can see that. That is reasonable now. It's a reasonable thing to do. So Frank Lautenberg, hot enough for you down there? You enjoying your reward, Frank Lautenberg? So Lautenberg comes along during the Clinton administration and says, hey, guys, I've got a way. The current hot button in America is domestic violence, and we've gotten everybody ginned up, angry about it. Remember I told you in a previous episode, when I was in the academy, they hipped us. They said, look, here's the way the world works. Here's the way America works. We have these media-driven hot button issues that come along every so often, and we have to give our attention to these because the media has decided that that this is a crisis, whatever the current crisis is. And you're like, domestic violence is not funny, Paul. I never said it was, moron. But it's been going on for hundreds, thousands of years. But all of a sudden, it became a crisis. And when we have a crisis, we have to do something. We can never let a crisis go to waste. So they ginned up a crisis, and Lautenberg comes along. He says, how about we put an amendment that anybody, not felons, but if they're convicted of a domestic violence misdemeanor, something that you can't even go to prison for, will make those people lose their right to own a gun for the rest of their lives. Well, and back then we had a scumbag piece of human filth in the White House. Oh, kind of like today, and we had a bunch of sycophants in Congress, and we have a bunch of reasonable people in America. You're so reasonable. Like, well, if I raise my hand and say, "Whoa, hang on a second. you're just gonna like arbitrarily take someone's constitutional rights away for life based upon a misdemeanor, a crime that you can't even go to prison for? Well, yeah. Oh, okay, well, I better not say anything because then you hate women. Why do you hate women? Why do you support domestic violence? Well, I don't support domestic violence. Well, you don't think that everyone who's been charged with it. Oh, and even that's another thing about the Lautenberg Agreement that you don't know about. You don't even have to be convicted of a crime. You can just be charged with it and lose your constitutional rights. So we talked about that. And several years ago, when the current administration said that they really cared about returning veterans, and they really cared about their mental health, and that they were going to put programs in place to identify veterans that were in danger with mental health issues and so forth. And I said, I threw the flag up. 3 years ago, I threw the flag up. I said, no. I said, this is a scheme. Do not believe this. This is not what it appears to be. Too late. Too late. So now, if you're a United States military veteran, if you're a member of the military, and you're having a hard time transitioning, or you're having a hard time coming back from war or getting out or what have you, and you go and talk to a counselor, you are immediately flagged with mental health issues or sought help for mental health or whatever. If the word mental health goes onto a piece of paper, bam, you've just been flagged as someone who's mentally unstable. We can't let you have a gun. Yeah, but this person was just looking for some counseling to get over a rough patch in his life. Doesn't matter. Branded for life. We have veterans now who, A, need to talk to somebody, should talk to somebody, but they're not stupid. They've seen what's happened. They know what happens. They know that if they go in, if they get an appointment at the VA with a counselor and they go sit down with the counselor and talk about their feelings, about what's going on, that they're going to be labeled as a nut job, as someone with mental illness. And once you get that label, it's pretty damn hard to get rid of it. So what are they doing? Guys that really need to talk to someone are deliberately not doing that because they know that the bureaucracy, that the system is going to slap that label on them. We spent almost an entire episode talking about how our veterans are now the newest victim group and how sadly and disgustingly some United States military veterans are embracing that. And you can't really fault them. You got guys that were raised, men that were raised, well, men, pseudo-men.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Not real men.
Men as in people.
Pseudo-men who were raised, who, went to junior high and elementary school and kindergarten or whatever and participated in the no-score soccer matches. Because keeping score is not fair. They were raised in an environment of feelings. Well, let's talk about your self-esteem, Billy. Well, Billy doesn't apply himself, and Billy fails every test. Yeah, but we're not going to fail Billy because that would hurt his feelings. Yeah, but Billy's not doing the work. Well, deep down inside, he probably wants to do it. Let's talk about your gender identity. So we raise these weaklings, and they end up somehow in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force. Every once in a while, they sneak under the radar and get into the Marine Corps. And now they're a 40-year-old, 38-year-old, 32, whatever, year-old veteran. They went overseas. A lot of them, played the Fobbit game. You dudes know what I'm talking about. You pipe hitters know what I'm talking about, the Fobbit game. You got a bunch of Fobbits coming back to America, and the first thing they do is get in line to get on disability. Because their buddies have told them, oh, man, you can get free money. You can get disability money. What? I can? Yeah, just go, man. You go down there. So now they've embraced this victimization class. So now by being a veteran, they're now a special victim class. Oh, you can't talk about that, Paul. Oh, no. There are a lot of people that have radio shows that can't talk about it or won't talk about it or won't point it out because they feel like, well, I didn't serve or I'm not a veteran, so I can't talk about it or whatever. Not this guy. Been there, done that, got the freaking T-shirt. Don't come to me and... When did you stop being an American and start being part of a victim class? That's what we've got here today in the United States. We've got tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that have willfully allowed themselves to be put into these little victim class groups. And that leads me directly to what I saw today.
It's sickening. And you guys, those of you that follow Student of the Gun on Facebook, it's Facebook/Student of the Gun. And there's some people that jumped on it already, and I'm glad that they are in agreement with us, because anybody that is not is going to get... They should be ashamed of themselves. So,
all right. So it's a 39-second clip that's floating its way around the interwebs and the social medias and all that, but it's from NBC News. The story actually aired on July 21st, and the timestamp on it was, I think it was like 9:30 p.m. Here we go. The dateline on it is July 21st, 2015, 9:31 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Story byline by Hamala Abdullah. Did I read that right, Jared? Does NBC have a reporter writing about Veterans Affairs called Hamala Abdullah?
Looks that way, yes.
Yeah. Well, let's just see what Hamala has to say here. And we're going to put this in. Did I drop this in the show links? This story link so that everybody can look at it?
Yeah, I think so.
No, I didn't.
You did not?
I'm a bad person, so hang on. And I'm going to go ahead and drop the link in there so I don't forget right now. In 3, 2, 1, it's done. All right. Warning. The following segment of Student of the Gun may upset you.
We should have.
Veterans take down protesters' sign at Obama speech. Veterans ripped a sign that read, "The Emperor has no clothes," and then it had Benghazi. It was supposed to be the Emperor. There was two different fonts. There was "The Emperor has no clothes" in one font, and then in the middle it said Benghazi. From a protester's hands as a group gathered for President Obama's speech on veterans issues in Pittsburgh. The tussle occurred as the president spoke to the National Convention of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, VFW, about stressing the need to honor the soldiers, as in multiple soldiers, service. The sign was in reference to the September 11, 2012 attacks on the diplomatic mission in Benghazi, which resulted in the deaths of Ambassador Stevens, in case you didn't know that. The story itself is, step number 1, the VFW, a veterans support organization. Why is Comrade Barry Hussein invited to speak in front of the VFW? Who at the VFW sent the letter out inviting Comrade Barry Hussein? Oh, there's a I've got the story open and it shows how, it's not just Comrade Barry Hussein Obama who was there. John Kerry was there, and he spoke at a VFW. Hey, VFW, I'm not a member of the VFW. I am a veteran of a foreign war. I'm eligible to be a member of the VFW, but I will never, ever be a member of your little club. If you don't, it's 2015, it's July 2015 as we're recording this. If in July of 2015 you still don't get that Barry Soetoro is the enemy of the United States of America, if you still don't get that, if you still haven't wrapped your mind around that, there is no reaching you. You can't be reached. Can we set that up as a baseline, Jared? If in July of 2015 you haven't examined the mountain, the Everest of evidence that Barry Soetoro is not a friend of the United States of America, is not a friend of the military of the United States, is not a friend of this country? If you can't wrap your mind around that little tidbit right there, there's no talking to you. You're lost. And if in July of 2015, your organization feels the need to invite Barry Soetoro et al., whatever, a.k.a. Comrade Barry Hussein, if your organization invites that creature to come and speak, I'm so sickened right now. I had no idea that the VFW, and you guys are going to write me letters and you're like, dude, what are you talking about? These guys have been traitors for years. So what is the VFW today? Is it a veteran support organization, or is it an organization that corrals veterans together so they can become one big lump victim group? Oh. Yeah. Oh, crap. Did you just hit the nail on the head there, Paul? So you've got corral, you got your little blue hats and stuff. You know what? Why are American veterans, American servicemen who swore an oath, yeah, you did. You freaking did. You swore an oath to preserve and defend the Constitution of the United States of America. Yeah, that's your job. All enemies, foreign and domestic, okay? Well, I swore to support the orders of those above me, including the president. Okay. All right, I'll give you that one. And when you learned the law of war, the laws of land warfare, what did it say about unlawful orders? Can you follow an unlawful order, or are you held responsible for your actions? Yeah, veterans in the audience, those of you who are not veterans don't know this, but you learned the laws of land warfare. And something that was drummed into me in boot camp, and I'm sure maybe it isn't anymore. I don't freaking know. But the audience in this clip here, they all learned it. Following orders is not an excuse. You learned the law. And part of the law is that crazy thing called the Constitution of the United States of America. And if you are witnessing someone violating the law and you do nothing or you go along with it, then you become a co-conspirator. The fact that there is one single bona fide United States military veteran willingly sitting in a hall listening to Barry Soetoro, the communist community organizer, speak, sitting quietly, is sickening to me. It infuriates me. When did you go from being a United States military soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, to becoming this victim? I have my blue hat that says VFW on it, and now I'm part of this cool little victim class. Now I'm part of a victim group. And Barry up there says that he's going to do good things for me, because he's going to do things for my victim group. Before you're a Marine, before you're a soldier, before you're a veteran, you're an American. An American. And if you don't understand, if you haven't grasped the fact that the communist community organizer, the divider in chief, this nation is more divided into little victim groups than it has been since I was born. And you don't have a problem with that? When do you go from being an American serviceman to being a victim with the name veteran attached to you? Yeah, I'm calling you out. Stop being a victim and start being an American. I don't care if you're gay, straight, veteran, whatever, gun owner. If American doesn't come first, I don't have anything to say to you. I'm done with you. Get out of my audience. Go away. You're a summer soldier. You're there for what you can get. This nation was not founded on, I'm going to get in this little group here. I'm going to become part of this little victimized group, and I'll get my free stuff. Oh, they'll promise me this and promise me that. No one promised you anything. No one owes you a damn thing. You owe the founders. Yeah, you do. You owe them. You owe your grandchildren and your posterity not to become... When do you become this weak, spineless person? And here we have a guy stand up and 3 veterans, members of the VFW, pull him down physically. This guy's probably in his 80s. 3 other veterans stand up, take this guy's sign, and pull him down. Physically attack this guy for the audacity to question the communist in chief. This evil creature is so dangerous that he's got veterans fighting against other veterans. I'm sorry, I couldn't keep it to myself.
Needed to be said.
It needed to be said. I can't.
You said it once before with the fireworks thing, the veterans becoming victims or acting like victims, and I'm blessed because the group of veterans that I've grown up with because of Dad, none of them are victims. They're all we did this because we owe it to the country. We owe it to our children and our grandchildren to sacrifice sometimes their lives. And they've never had the victim mentality, and so I don't understand how that even happens. But can we go on to a happy note now, because I'm kind of pissed off.
Folks, you know what? I don't know how to more plainly say this. I really don't. And you're like, and you know what? Here's the reason I'm addressing this. The reason Paul Markel is addressing this is because I know for a fact that the mainstream pundits and that the other people, that they're afraid to talk about vets turning on vets. They're afraid to call it out. They're afraid to. Veterans have become they're this coddled group of people. You know what? I'm not an. You have your VA card? No, I don't have a VA card because I'm not jumping into that cesspool. Well, why not? Don't you know that it's owed to you? No, you don't owe me anything. I don't want your discounts. I don't want your free anything. I didn't do it. I didn't join the Marine Corps so I could get a card to get 5% off at Chili's. That's not why I did it. I did it because of this crazy, antiquated thing called civic duty. Because I was raised loving my country. I didn't join the Marine Corps so I could get free college. I didn't join it so I could become part of a victim class. So I could get goodies and freebies. That's not why I did it. And if that's why you did it, you're wrong. You're freaking wrong like dick cancer. And if you've allowed yourself to become some part of this marginalized victim group, you're wrong too. And you need to reach down, deep, deep, deep down, and see if there's any fortitude left in your guts. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're 65. I don't care if you're 70. If you realize, take a moment and say, did I do it? Did I serve because I wanted to serve? I talked about my grandfather. He served. He didn't get out and become a victim. And, you know, the VFW and the American Legion and all, those used to be organizations where veterans could go to spend time with other veterans. They weren't these victim groups. Oh, we need to get you some victimization money here. I'm done talking about this, Jared. Let's move on and talk about something good. I'll talk about Ken Blanchard, Black Man with a Gun.
Ken's our buddy.
Ken's our buddy. We were I was on Ken's show this week, the Black Man with a Gun podcast with Ken Blanchard. But I wanted you guys to know, or I wanted to point out to you that Ken actually was interviewed by the Washington Times, and his story is up on WashingtonTimes.com. And this actually was a couple of weeks ago, but I think a lot of you might have missed it because, well, quite frankly, when a black man speaks out against Comrade Barry's agenda, that's not something that the New York Times or Bloomberg or anybody else is going to promote. You got to dig deep to find something like that, and that's what our job is. Our job is to make sure that you guys are aware of it. But the title of the story is Black Gun Rights Activist. Is he an activist for black guns? Black gun rights advocate challenges Obama's call after church shootings. And essentially, it's a story that says Ken Blanchard is he was black. He was a black man with a gun before being a black man with a gun was cool. He's been doing it for a long, long time, and he's also a pastor. And he's an all-around good guy. He's a veteran, United States Marine.
He likes long walks on the beach and
he likes
dinners.
and he likes black guns. So I know he likes black guns because I've seen him with black guns in his hand. So, but he challenged the basically the White House agenda. Can I say that is an agenda? Can I say there's a direct agenda here? And it's up on the WashingtonTimes.com. We put a link on our Facebook page, but we're also going to put a link in the show notes so that you guys can all go and read it. It's important. Share it with your friends. And, yeah, not everybody of color is down with Comrade Barry's agenda, regardless of what they've told you. You've been told that everybody of that skin tone is 100% in the tank for Comrade Barry, but that's not true. Oh, man, we've got about 10 minutes or so left of this show, and, well, our sandwich maker's back. But before we do our sandwich maker update theme, we want to we're talking about black rifles, so thank you to Velocity Triggers for making triggers for black rifles. You like that lead in there, Jared? Do you appreciate that? So if you've got a black rifle and you want to put a new trigger in it, I want you to go to VelocityTriggers.com. Check those guys out. And, of course, if you've got a black rifle, you should be putting some frog lube on it. And how can I get that? I don't know where to get it. Well, I get it from Brownells. I can get it from everywhere. Or
you go to froglube.com.
Or you go to froglube.com.
A distributor list.
They have a distributor list. And,
are they selling it from there now?
I don't know.
Last time I checked, they weren't.
Yeah, I think, well, they favor their distributors. And
yeah.
You can get it everywhere. So go to froglube.com. It just works. All right, go ahead and make me smile, Jared.
What did we put we just took a shotgun out. And you took it apart. You frog lubed it first.
Oh, yeah, the Fury, the Century Fury shotgun.
Oh, yeah, the Century Fury shotgun.
Yeah, the 12-gauge semi-auto magazine-fed shotgun. And, yeah, it came out of the box. It was pretty dry. So the first thing I did is I stripped it down. It's a Kalashnikov action. It's like a Kalashnikov action on roids because it's for 12-gauge. But I lubed it up and boom, boom, boom. Shot everything, even bird shot.
I do the cleaning, plus I keep the nana real sweet for your eating. Yes, you be the boss, and yes, I be respecting whatever that you tell me, cause it's game you be spitting. Oh, best believe that when you need that, I'll provide that. You will always have it. I'll be on deck, keep it in check. When you need that, I'ma let you have it.
All right, that would be, I don't even know who that is. That's somebody that Jared found somewhere on the interwebs.
It says David Guetta featuring Nicki Minaj, BB Rexa, and Afrojack.
Wow, and that is our sandwich maker update theme.
Nobody does their own songs anymore. It's
sandwich maker.
They got to team up.
Yeah, the sandwich maker. We never want to let facts get in the way of our agenda. So before the FBI, the investigation has been completed, before anything, and before we know the facts, it doesn't matter. A gun was present when a crime was committed. And that's enough for Nanny Bloomberg's favorite call girl. That's right. Shannon Watts admits lacking the facts on Chattanooga, but calls for more gun control. Essentially, this story is from 21 July, and the author is A.W.R. Hawkins. On July 20th, moms demand more bedroom action. President Shannon Watts admitted We're still learning the facts about what happened in Chattanooga. Then she called for more gun control. But it doesn't matter. To do this, Watts took the few facts that are known, twisted them ever so slightly, then regurgitated them in a way she believes will support gun control. For example, she took the FBI statement that the alleged... No, he was the shooter, and now he's worm food. Let's move on with our lives. Chattanooga shooter Muhammad Yusuf Abdulis, no relation to Islam there, passed a background check for at least some of the guns he had. Yeah, because in the United States of America, we are afraid, we are terrified of calling out members of the religion of peace and brotherhood. We can't profile them. We can open the doors to all these rabid dogs, let them into our country, but we're not going to do anything about it. The Boston bombers, the FBI knew. They're like, international intelligence agencies had provided them information about those guys. They're like, hey, you might want to keep an eye on those guys. What did that douche nozzle that's in charge of Homeland Security, J. Jonah Jameson or J. Jonah Johnson or whatever, say? Yeah, we know that these guys are they've traveled overseas to, Iraq and Syria and Jordan and places like that, and yeah, they're back in the United States, and we're monitoring them. Oh, wow, you're monitoring them? Well, thanks. Oh, those two whack jobs that attempted to shoot up the Draw Mohammed thing, Jared, weren't those guys on the we're going to monitor them list? What good does it do to monitor them? How about we don't let the monsters into the country? You can't just keep monsters out of your country, Paul. That would be racist. Yeah, we just need to allow the enemies of the nation. So Shannon and her, she's all about the gun shop loophole or gun show loophole and background check. Blah, blah, blah. Shut up, you moron. Don't you have... I can only imagine the flaccid state that this creature has a husband, right? I mean, that's at least what's purported. It has a family. It has kids because it's a mom. And we're back to that, well, she's a mom, and you're not allowed to question anything a mom says. I mean, if a mom says we need to give up all of our guns and just be reasonable, then, well, we have to do that because I don't want to be offensive. But you've come to the wrong place if you're looking to be not offended. So essentially, same old crap. We have a criminal committing a crime, and rather than focus on the monster who had the gun in their hand, old Shannon, that'd be Nanny Bloomberg's favorite call girl, apparently her phone was ringing, she wants to focus on the inanimate object because it's the existence of the inanimate object that causes the problem. Oh, that and the fact that it wasn't in the hands of the state. And as we know, guns in the hands of the state are okay. And if you're Shannon and her other call girls and you're holding an event and you want to hire armed security to follow you around, well, that's okay because those guns are good. But guns in the hands of you peasants, not so good. So just keep that in mind. Now, with that, we thought that we would follow that up with a clip from a real woman, a woman that doesn't need to hide behind Nanny Bloomberg's skirt, that doesn't need to cash checks from Nanny Bloomberg, although we might want to check her bank account and see if she's got one, but I doubt it. This has been all over the place, and this comes to us, the show, her show is, what is it called?
It's called Final Thoughts. Final
Thoughts with Tomi Lahren, and it's Tomi. It's Tommy, right? Not Tommy or
Tomi.
Tomi. You're an idiot.
To me.
It is not. Anyway, she is a woman who's not going to take it anymore, and apparently she's not on Nanny Bloomberg's payroll, and apparently she's not on Comrade Barry Hussein's payroll either. But I wanted to have Jared play this clip for you and contrast this real woman with the call girl that we were talking about a couple seconds ago.
I'm sorry, the show is actually called On Point.
On Point with
Not
Tomi
Final
Lahren.
Thoughts. Yes, to me.
4 United States Marines are now dead. Climate change didn't kill them. Lack of free community college didn't kill them. The income gap, wage inequality, nope, not those things either. Gay marriage, nope. Oh, white racism, not that either. So what did? President Obama, if you won't say it, I will. Radical Islam. This is not workplace violence. This is not a criminal act with motives unknown. This is terrorism. The suspected shooter, Mohammed Abdulaziz, a devout Muslim. Do I care that he seemed like an all-American young man? Do I care that he was good at mixed martial arts or a smart, quiet guy? Do I care that his high school friends wouldn't classify him as overly religious? No, I don't give a flying you-know-what about any of that. Was he linked to ISIS or Al-Qaeda or Hamas or any of the other 15-plus offshoot terrorist groups? Does it matter? I'm sorry, but radical Islam is becoming the rule, not the exception. Yesterday's moderate is today's terrorist. I care that this SOB killed 4 of our United States Marines, and I care that our commander-in-chief is more concerned with Muslim sensitivity than the honor and sacrifice made by these Marines. Now, this is the 21st time our military men and women have been attacked here at home. This is not a Middle East problem. This is an American problem, and I'm sorry, but I can't sit here and let this go. Not anymore. I come from a family of Marines. My grandpa was a World War II paratrooper. My uncle, a Vietnam Purple Heart recipient. My cousins, both Marine Corps officers. I have some very close Navy SEAL connections as well. In fact, someone very close to my heart is deployed to the Middle East right now. But the sad thing is, I was telling him last night, I think you're safer over there than you would be right here in the United States of America. I've had it with this failed strategy, this halfway, half-baked, tiptoe, be friendly to jihadis mentality pushed by this administration. Be a leader, someone. They, the radical Islamists, have brought the fight right here to the red, white, and blue, and it's about time we bring it to them, full force. Let's show them what the United States of America looks like up close and personal. Show them what a B-1 bomber looks like flying overhead. Show them what they're messing with. Put the fear of God in their desert, because clearly our lack of strategy isn't working.
Wow.
Yeah.
And with that... All right.
And after the video ends, it fades out, but you can see her, like, she reaches under and grabs her paper notes or something, and she's pissed off because you can see her throw the notes onto the table and they, like, fly off. It's funny.
Amen. Times 1,000. All right, well, it is Thursday, which means it is the end of the public broadcast this week. But fear not, we have a grad program hour coming up tomorrow, Friday, for those of you that are subscribed to the grad program. If you're not, that's cool, too, and we'll talk to you next week.
What are you going to talk about tomorrow?
But tomorrow, we have these little things called show notes. And in the show notes, tomorrow we're going to talk about Canadian idiots. We're going to talk about a paralyzed thug who is going to prison. He got to play the thug game. And now he's paralyzed for playing it. We have a career criminal who stole a flag and then got run over. We're definitely going to be talking about that. So, we're going to have a lot of fun tomorrow. Play stupid games, get stupid prizes is the name of tomorrow's bonus episode. All right, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, remember, you're a beginner once, but you should indeed be a student for life.